just felt really confused because it wasn't words. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with some of my not so favorite reads of 2018. So with the end of the year coming up, I thought it would be a good time to reflect on all of the books that I have read throughout the year and some of the ones that were not my favorite. So the first book that I want to talk about today is The Light We Lost by Dissapointing. This one I think I gave like 3 stars generously. It follows Lucy and Gabe, who basically meet in college for a hot second, and it's spent the rest of their lives basically in a mix of mixed opportunities. There's some marriages, there's some children, and it's just like they had a thing and now they don't, and they're gonna spend their lives basically like thinking about the thing that they had. My biggest problem with this book was the end. I did not love the end, and that is because this book follows their love story. And when their love story is done, that is it. So there are so many questions at the end of this book that don't get answered. A lot of it's left up in the air. There's some problems that need to be resolved and they're not. And they just kind of like leave it there. And it did kind of drag on, and I don't know if it's because of the girl that I was listening to this on audiobook, and I don't know if it's because the girl's voice started to annoy me a lot that I didn't like it, but like I just kind of felt like I was just waiting for it to be over. I wasn't really excited about listening to it anymore. I was just like, all right, I've got X amount of hours left. I can get through this because I just want it to be done. And I didn't absolutely love it. So this one was, yeah, super disappointing for me. The next one actually pains me that it's on this list. And that is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I didn't hate it, but I expected to love it a lot more than I did. I think the biggest problem that I had with this book was I didn't like Leah. She drove me crazy, and we didn't see a whole lot of her in Simon and the Homo Sapiens Agenda, so she didn't annoy me as much there, but this one was about her, and it's just like she was never grateful for anything. She just complained about everything, and she used some people in this book. This read like fan fiction. Like, she gets together with someone in this book that, like, it's cute and all, and like they had their moments, and sometimes I'm like, okay, that's really, really cute. But it just felt like someone else really, really wanted Leah to get with this person, and so wrote a very long fan fiction about it. Like, that's what it felt like to me. I think everything like wrapped up super quickly in the end. Like, there wasn't really a conclusion. It just kind of, I mean, there was a conclusion, but it just felt like I've written the story and I don't know how to end it, so poof, done, goodbye. Like, that's what it felt like in the writing. And I love Becky Albertalli, and I will give every single one of her books a shot, but this one was really disappointing. The next one is probably, I think, my most controversially, there's a couple on here that are actually kind of like surprising, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Cusack. This one I wanted to love a lot, and I listened to it on an audiobook, so maybe that was the problem, and I wasn't quite understanding a lot of the stuff that was going on. It just felt like it dragged on and on and on forever. And I was actually talking to my mom about this book, and she brought up a good point of like, that's kind of how the war with the Nazis was. It just felt like it dragged on and on and on forever, which I totally get. So this is a book that I'll definitely give a second chance to at some point. I'd heard great things. I'd seen the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. I knew what it was about, so maybe that was the problem going into it. And the guy in the audiobook was a really good narrator. I don't know what it was. It just dragged on forever, and I just couldn't wait for it to be over. However, I will say the ending was super, super emotional, and I did definitely cry at the ending, so that did redeem it a little bit in my eyes. But I think I'd given it a little bit too much hype in my mind, and that's probably why I didn't like it as much. So maybe if I go into it again with this kind of like lower expectation, I'll enjoy it a little bit more, because I think it's a really good idea. And I think, you know, the writing style as far as like writing from Death's point of view was really, really interesting. I just didn't love it when I was reading it. So the next one is also one that I think is going to break some people, and that is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I didn't love it. Like, I went through it really, really quickly, and I was like, cool, one and done, but I don't know if it's because I don't know if I was super focused when I was reading it and I needed to be, or I don't know what it was, but it just, I was confused most of the time. And when they tried to explain some like sciencey things, I was like, I am sorry. Are you speaking English? Because I do not get it. It's one that like a lot of people loved when they were growing up, and I never read, and so maybe because I didn't read it until this year, I like missed that train. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. This one is one that I think, again, I hyped up in my mind way too much, and then it ended up not being as great as I thought it was going to be. It was okay, and I'm glad that I did read it, because now I can say that I've read this book. But it was okay. And the last book that I read was actually I read it way back in January, so it was the first book that I did not like this year. It is The Witch's Daughter by Paula Braxton. This one is the first in the series. I believe there is a couple after it, and I wanted to like it. And there were parts of it that I did like. There was just a lot of it that I didn't. The ending, I felt like, didn't explain really what happened. I didn't love it a lot. And I really wanted to. I don't really have an explanation as to why I don't love it, because it has been so long since I read it. So a lot of those like really strong feelings and like things that I picked out that I didn't love, I can't like really remember anymore, but I do remember this like feeling of just like dislike once I was done. I kind of like I threw the book. When I throw a book, you know it's bad. Well, that's it. Those are the 5 books that I just was like super disappointed with, and because there's only 5 out of the 70 that I've read, I think that's pretty good. So I'll take it, because not every book is a winner. No one can love every single thing that they read, and if you do, who are you and how can I be you? Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below what some of your most disappointing reads of the year were. I would love to know that I am not alone in the disappointed life. But if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to be part of this awesome growing family we've got going on over here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!